नमामि शंकराचार्य गुरुपाद सरोरुहं यस्य प्रसादान् मूढोऽपि सर्वज्ञोऽहं सदा भवं कामाक्षी करुणारूपं कामकोटि जगद्गुरुं सिद्मूर्तिं कलये चित्ते शंकराचार्यमप्ययं भक्ताग्रगिरि सम्भूता शंकरार्णवगामिनी पुनातु भुवनं पुण्या श्रीगुरोः सरितापगा वेद वेदांत साम्राज्य धर्म कामार्थ मोक्षदं विद्यारण्यं नुमः पुण्यं यो विद्यारण्यमच्छिनत् सदाशिव श्री ब्रह्मेन्द्र धृत स्वपद पादुकान् धीरान् परशुवेन्द्रार्यान् ध्यायामि सततं हृदि देवे देहे च देशे च भक्त्यारोग्य सुखप्रदम् उथ पामर सेव्यन्तं श्री जयेन्द्रं नमाम्यहं माम शंकरान्वाख्य विजयेन्द्र सरस्वतीं श्री गुरुं शिष्टमार्गानुनेतारं सन्मतिप्रदं सत्यनारायण क्षेत्रात् सत्यव्रतमुपागतम् आश्रये कामकोटीशं सत्यश्री चंद्रशेखरं सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरु परंपरा. Our Shri Kanchi Kamakoti Moolamnaya Sarvagya Vaidhadviti Jagadguru Shri Shankara Vijayam Saraswati Shankaracharya Swami held last year, performed Abhisheka to Ramanatha Swami by his own hands and completed thereby his Tirtha Yatra. Starting from that auspicious occasion, the prarthana of doing Anusandhana of the original Shankara Charitra text, we have been doing this prayatra by the name of Shri Shankara Bhagavatpāda Rādhanā Upanya Mala. And we are examining the Anandagiriya Shankara Vijayam, and currently as the 33rd part of this series, we are about to examine starting from the 49th prakarana of this text. In the previous a lot of adhyayas, except for the just very first few adhyayas, the entire text has been of the form of justifying the Birdavadi or Namavadi given to Bhagavatpāda as Dvisaptati Matoccheta, the one who vanquished the 72 various matas. So, starting from Shaiva Mata, Vaishnava Mata, and so many of subdivisions and so on, Acharya has been very patiently pointing out, discussing with everybody, and pointing out whatever aspect of that mata is against the Vedas, that should be discarded, and the proper Vaidika darshana should be taken up. And Acharya has been blessing people all along, saying Advaita Vidyam Ashritya Mukta Bhavata, Mukta Bhavata. His Acharya his goal is to give moksha to everybody through the proper path. So, in that series, it's about to come to an end with the next three prakaranas. In the previous session, we saw two prakaranas in which the Pitra Devatas, through their upasana alone, one can attain moksha. There is one mata, Pitra mata, and two other matas, that is Shesha, Adishesha, and Garuda, who are respectively the bed and the Vahana, vehicle of Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. By doing their upasana, one can attain moksha. Such matas were there previously. So now we are examining the Siddha Mata. So Siddhas are certain highly evolved souls, and it is said that through their upasana one can attain moksha. There were people who are doing upasana of the Siddhas. So at some point of time we hear that in the Jaina Mata this was very popular, but here it is not mentioned, though it is not mentioned Jainas. The names seem similar. Tata Siddhopasakaha, Chirakirti, Nityananda, Pararjunadeyaha. So these people by name Chirakirti and so on, Samaditya Swaminam Itamochuhu, Bhos Swaminne, they come to Bhagavatpāda and say, O Swamin, Asmadiya Matam Adhiva Vichitra Tarankila, Asmadupasyanam Siddharam Vichitratva. Our Mata is very Vichitra. It's variegated. Because the Siddhas that we worship are of various forms, of various kinds. Ataha Siddhopadesha Parilabdha Sakala Mantra Siddha Vayam Kritarthaha Nityamuktascha. So through doing upasana of the Siddha, we get Upadesha of various mantras from them and get various Siddhis through that, and we become Kritartha and attain moksha. So how that is an extrapolation, it's not clear, and they are not going to really explain that. Tasmad bhavantopi siddhamatavalamvino bhavantu. So they recommend to Bhagavatpāda saying you should also take up our Siddhamata, who do upasanas of Siddhas. Sri Shailadi Bhagavad Avirbhavasthaleshu Mantraushita Visheshan Prapya Satyanathadi Siddhaha Kritarthaha Chiranjeevinascha Babhuvu. So various Siddhas by name Satyanatha and so on, they came to places like Shri Shaila and so on, which where Bhagavan is manifest, and they attained lots of mantras and aushadhas and so on, and they attain whatever they want to attain, and they became very long lived. Chirajeevi. So Tadupadeshena Chiram means a very long time, doesn't mean eternal, Shashvata. So Tadupadeshena Tatha Vidhaha Vayam. So through the Upadesha of those Siddhas, we also are like that. Asmabhis Sarva Prapancho Vittakhila. Oh, this is a bold declaration. He says that we know the entire world. Tat Kathavityukte, how come? Nidhinikshepa Anjana Darshana Akarshana Uchchatana Marana Mohana Stambhana Vashyadi Vidya Visheshehi. So we have these various Vidyas whose names are going to be listed in quite much detail. Nidhi Nikshepa Anjana Darshana. So if there is some treasure hidden somewhere under the ground in some place, one can find it out by wearing Anjana, something applied to the eye, the dark, that which is applied to the eye. And through that one, after applying some mantras to it, so through that one will get the power of seeing whatever is hidden under the ground. And Akarshana, to attract something to come nearby. Uchchatana, to make something, to drive something away. Marana, to actually kill somebody or something. Mohana, to make one lose their rational thinking process. Stambhana, to paralyze somebody. Vashya, to bring somebody totally under one's control. Such Vidya Visheshas. And Atyahara, other some more Vidya Visheshas, some special capabilities. Atyahara, you can eat how much ever you want. Anahara, you can stay without eating. Prithvi Jaya, Salila Jaya, Vanhi Jaya, Vaju Jaya. So you have control over all these elements out over Prithvi, over Salila, Vanhi, Vaju. So you can, whatever you want, you can create something using all those bhutas. They will all be under your control. Shabda Jaya, so you can totally stop sound, or you can create some sound out of nowhere. So Vidya Visheshehi. And these are various kinds of special capabilities. And Vishapana, Paradapana, Tailapana Pravriti Vishcha. So drinking poison, normally drinking poison will deprive one of life. But here, doing some mantropasana on that and then drinking it, it is said to give pushti, and it is said to remove the possibility of untimely death. So, directly opposite to what it is actually normally does. Paradavana, drinking mercury for whatever reason, and that seems to also give some power. Otherwise, it's not good. It won't agree. It will also be a poison. And Tailapana, drinking oil. So, oil, we don't drink oil. We will take it with sambar or whatever it is, limited amount. But drinking oil with some mantra prayoga seems to be able to give some power. So apamrityu, akala mrityu hara pravrittihi yoga visheshehi. So all these enable one to remove apamrityu and akala mrityu, untimely death, or a bad death, unnatural death. So all these Vishapana, etc., are said to be useful for that. So, Akala Varsha, Akala Ashanipata, Vrishchika Varsha, Sarpa Vanhi Varsha, Shila Varsha, Daru Varsha, Nakshatra Varsha, Graha Varsha Pravritibhi Kriya Visheshi. So, untimely rain, untimely thunder, lightning, and Vrishchika Varsha. So, seems somewhat Ghora, raining scorpions, raining snakes, raining fire, raining stones, raining trees, and make it appear as if stars are falling out of the sky, the planets are falling out of the sky. Salila Varsha, Kshira Varsha, Dadhi Varsha, Salila Varsha, okay, fine, raining water, raining milk, raining curd, Madhu Ajya Varsha, raining honey, raining Ajyam, Gritam, and Sura Varsha, raining liquor. Amrita Varsha, Kanaka Varsha Pravriti, raining nectar, raining gold, Shakti Visheshehi. Kusama Varsha, Anna Varsha, Dhanya Varshadibhi. So make it rain flowers, that might be a good thing. Anna Varsha, you can use it for doing Annadanam. Dhanya Varsha, likewise. Yakshini Vidya Visheshehi. So this Yakshini is a kind of Devata. So by doing upasana and attaining the siddhi of controlling that devata, you can get all these things done. Jana Varsha, Pashu Varsha, Yuvati Varsha Pravrtibhi. So making a huge number of people to assemble. Obviously, it doesn't mean fall out of the sky, but here, Jana Varsha, Pashu Varsha, huge number of animals, cattle, and Yuvati Varsha, in the case of women also, Mohini Vidya Visheshehi. These are again like Yakshini, this is another kind of devata. Bhumyutkshepana, Sarilotskshepana, Vanyutkshepana, Vayutkshepana, Tarutskshepana, Riputkshepanadi, Uddeshika Vidyarupa Mantra Visheshehi. So there are mantras or vidyas which are capable of giving the power of, uprooting earth in the sense that you can dig a huge hole in the ground and throw that earth anywhere you want. So Salidot Kshepana, likewise, throwing up huge volumes of water, throwing up fire, throwing up, creating a sudden gust of wind, throwing up trees, and even throwing up your enemies, or make them flying in the sky and drop them somewhere else. So these are all various kinds of mantra vidyas. Grihadaha, Gramadaha, Puradaha, Aranyadaha, Divi, Vidya mantra visheshehi. So there are mantras to burn, set fire to a house, to a village, to a town, or to a forest also. So Stri Purusha, Agratikarana, Shatrujaya, Senajaya, Stri Kakshyadi, Kakshaputi Vidya Visheshehi. So it's not very clear what is Kakshaputi, but these are special kinds of vidyas which may enable you to bring women under your control, bring men under your control, to win over enemies. That might sound good, but when it is applied to somebody who is actually innocent, then on this side the mistake comes. Sena Jaya, likewise, Stri Jaya, and so all these powers. Ayahkarana, Tamrakarana, Rajatakarana, Hemakarana, Adi Dhatu Vidya Prabhedehi. So to suddenly create iron from nowhere, copper from nowhere, silver, gold, and so on. Drishti Bandhana, Simha Sharava Vyagradi Bandhana, Sarabha Vyagradi Bandhana, Dushta Mriga Bandhana Adibhi. So to make one's eyesight be temporarily lost, Drishti Bandhana. Simha, Sharabha, Vyagra, and so on. So Simha, lions, tigers, and Sharabha, it's said to be, it's picturized as in our temples and so on as a mixed, hybrid lion, snake, etc., elephant, etc., animal. But actually, the Puranas say that these Sharabhas were roaming in the forest in olden days. So those, whatever it is, it's a very harsh or rough animal, Krura Mriga. But then you have a mantra siddhi which is able to control it. That might be good. Indrajala, Mahendrajala, the Mantramolika Kajjala Visheshehi. So I'm not clear what is the difference between Indrajala and Mahendrajala. So, but you apply mantras you apply Mulikas, roots, and Kajjala, that Kajal. You apply and do something through that. Etadad Janeka Visheshehi Vayam Sarvajna eva. So through all such special things, we are Sarvajnas, we are omniscient. Tasmad Aranya Bhedyam Asman Matam. So you can't even split our mata. Iti Prapte Bhagavan Acharya Pathati. So the word Bhagavan here, so far Paramaguru Pathati, and so many such words have been used here. The word Bhagavan, because Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Dharmasya Yashasya Shriyaha Jnana Vairagyayoschaiva Shannam Bhagaiti Rana. So all these siddhis that they are talking about, but the entire Aishwarya, Sampurna Aishwarya is with Bhagavan Bhagavatpāda. And whatever Aishwarya means power. Later on, Shri means wealth. So here Aishwarya means power. And Dharmasya, how come that power which Bhagavatpāda holds, why is it the greatest, really greatest power? Because it is on the basis of the complete dharma which is entirely residing with Bhagavatpāda. Yashasaha, Shriyaha. So through that he has acquired the true, pure, pristine fame. And Jnana and Vairagya, of course, that is his Mooladhana. So that Bhagavatpāda, that is why he is called Bhagavan Acharya. Here specifically, it seems to me, he speaks to them saying, Oh, Bho, Chirakirti, Nityananda, Prarjunadeyaha, Srunudhvam. Oh, you people, listen to me. Anitya Phalepsubhi Bhavadbhis Sambhashanam api narham. I feel that it is not appropriate to even talk to you people who are so much engrossed in acquiring these ephemeral capabilities. So temporary, it's not even fit to be called temporary, it's ephemeral. Which Kim Vichitra Varshe Prayosanam Vidyate. What is the use of making all this train, and so on? Nidhi Nikshepa, the Anjanadivi, Paradravya, Apaharana, Dosha Prapti Matrame Phalam. So, what is the point of that Anjana Vidya through which you are able to find that treasure which is hidden below the earth? If somebody has earned and they want to protect it and they have kept it in some place. So, if you are going to dig it up and say that it's your dhana, how is it your wealth? So you will only acquire the sin of removing somebody else or enjoying somebody else's wealth. And furthermore, that chiranjivitva, what you said, living long, definitely it's not a mokshopaya. See, even that Ashwathama, Balirvyaso, Hanumanshta, Vibhishanaha, Kripa Parashuramishta, Saptaite, Chirajivinaha. Chirajivi means living long. Doesn't mean living forever, because anywhere, anyhow, at some point of time, there will be pralaya. So only up to pralaya, these Ashwathama, Bali and so on, they will be there, but not after pralaya. So anyway, definitely it's not, even living long, it's not at all a upaya to attain moksha. Dehasya dukkhalayatvat tat parityagena brahma prapti upayaha buddhimad sampadaniyaha. So because the body is an embodiment, is a place of dukkha being collected. And so one has to make such efforts as to go beyond this deha and attain Brahmavastu, not to stay in this deha, in this body forever. Buddhimadhi sampadaniha. So one should attain such a capability to attain Brahmavastu if you are really an intelligent person. Tasya guruvadhinatvat tan mukhapadma vigalita amritadvaya amritapana parayanaha nityamukta sukhino bhavanti. So later on, so far Acharya has been saying bhavata, but here it's not so directly said, it is sukhino bhavanti. So because this Advaita Vidya, that Mokshopaya Vidya, Brahma Prapti Vidya is in the control of the Guru, and Tan Mukha Padma Vigalita, Advaya Amritapana Parayanaha. So drinking, one who is engrossed in drinking the Advaita Amrita, which comes out of the lotus of the mouth of the Acharya, only then, only such a person will be able to attain the Shashvata Moksha and attain real Sukha, Moksha Sukha. Everybody else, Tadanye Punaha Dukhalayam Ashashvatam Samsaram Vilayam Nityam Yati. So, everybody else will be again and again rotating within the samsara, which is of the which is a place of all kinds of dukkha's, are where they are all collected. Chiranjeevitam Sukhamiti Yadi Ucheta Tarihi Ugantare Manvantareva Sarvaloka Jaramrityukale Vilayaha Steva. So you think that living long is a very, very happy thing. So if you live until the end of the Yuga or until the end of the Manvantara or so on, then when everything else gets destroyed, this body also will get destroyed, and you have been attached to that particular body for so many more years. So you will be experiencing all the more dukkha because of the loss of that particular body. Tatrapi punar dukkha praptireva syat. Tasmat muktanam yat sukham nityananda rupam vartate na tadanyesham tallesha bhavat. So that sukha which is attained by those who have really attained moksha, that is the Nityananda Swarupa Sukha. That Sukha, even the smallest bit of that Sukha is not available to others who have not attained moksha. So there is another shloka said by elders, Yatcha Kama Sukham Loke, Yatcha Divyam Mahad Sukham, Trishtakshaya Sukhasite Arhata Shodashingalam. So whatever the greatest pleasure that one can experience, whether in this world or the next world, all these pleasures do not even come to one kala or 1/16th of that sukha which is attained by the complete vairagya and their realization. Muktupayeva sukhepsubhi anudiram chantaniyaha ityuktaste paramagurum acharya swaminam natva. So if you are really desirous of attaining sukha, you should always look to the path of attaining moksha. And by listening to this Upadesha of the Bhagavatpāda, te paramagurum acharya swaminam natva Tatupadesha balat manonmanyam manolayam kritva. So again, even the last few prakanas, this word has been repeated, manonmani. So through the Upadesha of the Bhagavatpāda, they will be able to dissolve their mind within the Manonmani, which is beyond the mind. Divya Teja Kotastha Rupam Rupa Brahmana Santhanam Kurvantaha Shishyavara Bhuhu. So they will be able to realize the Parabrahma Vastu, which is of the nature of divine effulgence. And they became those Upasakas who were earlier, they were doing Upasana of the Siddhas alone. Now they have evolved by the Kripa of the Guru, and they became the greatest Shishyas, excellent Shishyas of Sri Bhagavatpāda. Anandagiri Kritau Prakaranam Ekona Panchasham, the sense the 49th Prakarana. And the next 50th Prakarana is the Gandharva Mata Vichara. ततः परं गानशीलाः विश्वावसु नामक गन्धर्वाधिपत्युपासकाः पद्मोक्ति मिथिलांग गरुड गूढ़धर नागादयः परमगुरुन्नत्वा idamoccho. So these people who were all singing and they are doing upasana of the Gandharva Raja by name of Vishwavasu, Padmokti and others, these are the upasakas. They come to Acharya and bow to him. And they speak, they saying, Swamin Vayankira Kritarthaha Asmadiyam Matam Akhila Anandadam. Our mata is something that gives pleasure to everybody. Vishwavasu Upasanena Vidita Gana Karana Nadopasana Parilabdha Varnathita Bindu Kalaha. So we do Upasana of Vishwavasu. So through that we attain the Jnana of Gana Vidya. And that Gana Vidya is the sadhana for doing Nadopasana. And through that Nadopasana, we attain that Bindu Tattva or the Kala Tattva, which is beyond words. So tad dhyana sambhota kalanubhava eva. So through that meditation on that Bindu Tattva and Kala Tattva, one can attain the experience of that Kala Tattva, and that is eva Brahmanubhava iti kritva nitya mukta eva. So we are always in that Upasana, so we have already attained moksha. Tasmad bhavantopi muktibhilashanaha sada gandharva vidya parishramam kurvantu. So you also, if you desire moksha, you should all do upasana of this, make efforts in this Gandharva Vidya. Iti prapte Bhagavan Patati Nanu Nadagyanena Brahmavaptirityuktam Tadayuktam. So Acharya replies saying, how come you are saying that by the jnana of Nada, one can attain Parabrahma Vastu? It is not appropriate. Shruti Virodha Brahmana Shabdadyati Tattvat Bindu Kalayorepi Sagunatva. So Bindu Kala and other such tattvas are within the Sattva Rajas Tamo Guna Vyavastha only. That Brahma Vastu, however, it is beyond the Shabdas Parasha Ruparasagandha, the Gunas or this Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunas and so on, as per the description in the Shruti. So it is said that Nadu Bindu Kalatitam Yastam Veda Savedavit. So that that person has really understood the Vedas, who knows the Paramatma, who is beyond this Nada, Bindu and Class. And further, the Kathopanishad also says that Atma Paramatma Tattva is devoid of all kinds of sounds, touch, form, and so on. So we cannot say that doing attaining the jnana of that Gana Tattvam or the Nada Tattvam, Kala Tattvam, and so on, through that moksha is obtainable. No, there is no such prama. Tasmat Nadabindu Kalatita Parama Advaja Vitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa Shuddha Brahmopasanam Nijaikya Karanadaksham Sadabhadadham. So you should realize that you have to go beyond this Nada and Bindu and Kala and so on, and realize the Advaita Tattva, the non-dual Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha, Nitya Mukta, that which is always pure, that which is always of the nature of that Swarupa Jnana, and that which is always beyond the shackles of samsara, that Shuddha Brahma Upasana is capable of bestowing to make one with oneself. So, with our supreme form, that is. Tadvarena mukta bhavata ityupadesha mangikritya shishyaasteva bhuhu. So, Acharya advises to them only through this Vidya Shuddha Brahmopasana, which is beyond this Nada Bindu Kala and so on, through that only we can attain moksha. Iti Shishya Babhu iti Anandagiri Prakaranam Panchasham. So thus ends the 50th Prakarana, and next the 51st Prakarana. So this is the last prakarana of this Mata Vicharas. Later on, the story continues ahead. ततः केचित् चितिभस्म व्याप्त सर्वांगाः शल्य विशेष भूषित मणिबद्ध गलाः भूतराडुपासकाः कज्जलादिधारिणो वेतालोपासकाश्च परमगुरुन्नत्वा इदमूचुः. So some people who are wearing the ashes from the place where the smashana where they burn the dead. So from the bhasma, from there these people are wearing, and they are having some kind of monies which are adorned on top of some small ayudhas which are made out into the form of a garland. So they are upasakas of the Bhutaraja, whoever that may be, and Kajjaladhidharinaha, they are wearing some kind of collyrium, kajal in on their eyes for whatever reason, and they are doing upasana of the Vetalas also. They come to Acharya. Even those people, they come to Acharya and do namaskara to Bhagavatpāda. That much bhagya they have done. Swamin asmanmatam sunu Bhutaraja sarvalokadhyaksha iva talapravana dehino vartante. So the Bhutarajas are capable of they controlling the whole world, and they are as tall as a palm tree. The Betalaha Upasakanam Pratyaksham Tadupasanena Shatrujayadi Phalamasti. So that Betala, Ganakarta Betalaha means may mean that he is capable of controlling a big group. So Upasakanam Pratyaksham. So those who are doing Upasana of this Vetala will definitely be capable of controlling their Shatrus. Itida Tadupasakanam Asmakam Sarvaloka Bashankaram Rupam Phalamasti Prapte Bhagavatbhire Muktam. So through doing upasana of these bhutas and vetalas, we will be capable of controlling the entire world. That phala we have. Iti prapte bhagavadbhir evamuktam bho bhuta vetalopasakaha. The word bhuta is missing. We have to add it, I presume. Bhavan matam anarhameo bhavati. Nityakarmadi parittajya bhutadev upasana anarhatva. Your mata is totally unacceptable because one should not forsake one's nityakarma anusthana and do that bhutadi upasanas instead. So aveda moolatvacha tadupasanam anarhameva. So there is really no pramana to say that one should do upasana of the bhutas or vetalas. And further, apasarpantu ye bhuta bhuvi samstitaha or bhuvi samstitaha ye bhuta vighnakartaraste nashyantu shivagyaya. This verse is said during the time of doing, at the beginning of doing puja or such anushtanas, to ensure that whatever bhutas may be invisibly present in the place where we are about to do anusthana, so that those bhutas may be driven away. So iti vadaracha brahmakarma pratibandhaka bhutarchanam ayuktam. So it is clear that the archana of the bhutas is would be the presence of the bhutas would be a hindrance to karma anusthana, the Vedika karma anusthana. In which case, how can you do archana to that bhuta? It is entirely inappropriate. Tadanyesham ragadveshadi rajjubuddhanam anyonya hanim abhipsunam tadvidya vaishadya praptihi prapti asaktihi. So whoever is not capable of, interested in doing satkarma anushtanas, they are tied up with their concepts of raga and dvesha, their extreme desire for something, extreme dislike for something. So what will happen? They will want to create difficulties for the other. Anyonya hanim abhipsunam. Say they want the other fellow to fall down or whatever. Tad vidya vaishadya praptya asakti. So only such people will be interested in attaining capabilities in that particular vidya. Yuyam kulajataha. So you people are, however, I presume you are from good kulas. Evam ayukta acharam bharittajya shuddha advaita vidyashritaha varnochita karmashila bhavata. So you discard this incorrect achara that you have been following so far, and you should resort to the Shuddha Advaita Vidya and become dedicated to performing your Varnashrama Karmanusthana. Swarga Karma Swakarma Bhrashtanam Nasti Gatihi Ihamutra Phalada. Iti, those who have forsaken their own Varna Ashrama Karmanusthana, to them Uttama Gati, whether here in this world or in the next world, that will not give fruit. It will not be available. Iti Shri Govinda Bhagavatpāda Shishyehi Abhitamasvabhihi. So this is a very unique declaration at the final end where he is about to, he obviously Bhagavatpāda knows that this Mata Nirakarana is hereby complete. So at this point he remembers his Guru through whose anugraha he considered himself to be a Bhagyavan. So, ituktaha. So, through that Govinda Bhagavatpada's anugraha, I, Shankara, I say this, I declare this, that whoever does not do their varnashrama karmanusthana, they will not attain the fruitful gati in this world or the next. Ituktaha krodhajanda vidveshaga ragadeyaha swaminam natva. So, all these people, krodhajanda and so on, doesn't seem to be mentioned at the beginning of the prakarana. Only here they come to Acharya and do namaskara. Tad upadesha vidita tattat karma shilaha. So through the upadesha or the guidance of Bhagavatpāda, they come to know what is their actual karmanusthana that they should have followed, that they should follow. Shuddha Advaita Vidya Nirataha Panchapuja Parayanaha Shishyaha Babhuhu. So here it is possible that one can say that there is another reason for doing Smarana of Shri Govinda Bhagavat Pujyapada. So the Purva Charitra of Govinda Bhagavatpāda, Haritalpa Harangrinu Parakshmadhara Saumitri Bhalatri Putra Lakshma Jayatadu Pareva Matta Dhama Jaya Govinda Munissa Chandranama, as it is said by Brahmendra, that in the Purva Avatara, Govinda Bhagavatpāda, he was born as Chandra Sharma, and that Chandra Sharma in the previous Avatara, he had been as a Brahma Rakshasa for some time. But though, despite that, through his tapas, through his anusthana, he has now come to this position of the Guru. Shri Govinda Bhagavat Pujyapada Shishyehi Abhiram Asvabhihi iti, that Bhagavatpāda declares that. And through this Upadesha, these people who were earlier carrying the names of Krodha Chanda, Vidvesha Raga, and so on, they come to do namaskara of Bhagavatpāda. Tadupadesha vidita tattat karma shilaha. So through the Upadesha of that Bhagavatpāda, they come and they realize they take up what is their actual duty, their karmanusthana, and what kind of life they should lead. Karma and Shira. Shuddha Advaita Vidya Nirataha. They also accept that Shuddha Advaita Vidya and Panchapuja Varayanaha Shishya Babuhu. So they do puja of that Panchayatana, and such excellent Shishyas they have become. Ityananta Anandagiri Krato Prakaranam Yeka Panchasham. So thus ends the 51st Prakarana of this Anandagiriya Shankara Vijaya, and thus ends the discussion about the various matas. So further on from the next Prakarana, how we will see, we should remember that Acharya has come to Varanasi, and it is where a lot of recent discussions have happened. And from this place, Bhagavatpāda is in this place, in this Kashi, he is about to have Darshana of Srimad Vyasacharya. So that is how the next Prakarana goes. But we will stop here, and by the Anugraha of the Guru, we will continue on a further date. Sarvavyapaka Chaitanya Rupena Adhyapi Tishtati Seva Shankaracharyo Gurur Mukti Pradassatam. Hara Hara Shankara. Jai Jai Shankara.